Good afternoon, guys, and welcome into another episode of the Southern Sports Bros Podcast. I'm Austin, and I'm joined by my brother Logan.
Peace.
We have some segments lined up tonight, and just as a reminder, this episode is being recorded on 10/8 on a Friday night. We will be on vacation, so if any of these timelines don't line up with what's happening in real life, just please ignore it.
Yeah, we're going to be chilling on the beach, so don't comment any negativity.
Yep. So we're going to start out with future of the SEC. Our buddy Cookie suggested this. He wanted us to do a video on this, talking about how the conference is expanding and Texas and Oklahoma joining, so we're going to talk about that. Future of the SEC. In my mind, I think the best possible avenue to go would be to go into a pod system where you have 4 different pods, northeast, south, and west. And I have a list of what I think the pods would be. You can give me any kind of feedback on what you think it should be or what should change, and we'll go from there. So this is based on geographically and trying to level out the playing field. And the North, I don't really know how to balance it. So just give me your feedback. We'll go through all of them, and then we'll try to figure out how we can balance the league out. North, I have Arkansas, Vandy, Kentucky, Missouri. And I like the East is next, and it's stacked. Like, it has 2 powerhouses in one side, and I'd like to be able to split them up and have one powerhouse in each. The East, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, Tennessee. They have Georgia and Florida in the same division, and Tennessee and South Carolina. Arkansas, Vandy. Arkansas could be the new powerhouse for that North division, even though they're not a powerhouse. I mean, they could turn into one.
Yet.
Arkansas, Vandy, Kentucky, Missouri, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, Tennessee. Then in the South, Alabama, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Auburn. And then West, Texas, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, LSU. That West division is the division that makes the most sense to me. Texas, Oklahoma, A&M, and LSU. I mean, that's 4 good teams. I mean, you could balance it out better.
Yeah, you could do I like the idea of the pod system, because then there's 4 divisions, like the NFL is. But then you come into you would have to change the SEC championship into playoffs.
You'd have a winner from each division, and you would play in like a tournament style.
Yeah, it would be a playoff bracket.
1 versus 4 and 2 versus 3. So there'd be you'd have your own ranking system inside the SEC.
But if you avoid that and you do what I was thinking you could just draw a line, honestly, sort of at the bottom of Tennessee. Then you'd have North and South. Then you'd have Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Vandy, Tennessee, Kentucky, South Carolina. And then Ole Miss could be included in that too, so that it stays even. And then you'd have Texas, A&M, Texas A&M, LSU, Miss State, Bama, Auburn, Georgia, Florida. Which that South stacked, but
I don't know how they're going to do it.
No, I don't know.
I have no idea. I do know that it's been not confirmed by anybody reliable, but people that have sources, it's been pretty much out there that they've put together a schedule for next year. Like what it would look like if Oklahoma and Texas paid off their contracts and came early. They already have a schedule lined out, and I think you would play each each one of your teams in your division, and then you would have 2 crossovers as far as conference schedule. So we'll see. And the next question on this topic, will more teams come? Texas and Oklahoma's already confirmed how many more teams join. That will change it from 16 to more.
Yeah, I think at that point, though, it would go into... It'd spill more into like a national thing. And you would have SEC, and then you'd have Big 12, and they'd all be really big, way more teams than they have now conference. Like maybe 4 conferences nationally.
Do away with the NCAA and just have a power conference.
Yeah, just have like 4 conferences, like 4 quadrants in the United States. And
I could see that.
Conferences.
I could see that, and I think the end of the NCAA is coming sooner or later. But if I mean, we're going to move on from this, but I named off a couple teams I would like to see if they'd add more. Mine will be Clemson, FSU, which those 2 have already been rumored that they're talking to them too. Clemson, Florida State, North Carolina, Virginia Tech, West Virginia. I think West Virginia, I've always thought that West Virginia and Virginia Tech should be in the SEC. Geographically, it makes sense. The way their fan base treats football, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense altogether. But we're going to move on. Our next segment is Heisman predictions. So this obviously could change a lot from week to week. We know that. We understand that. But we're going to give our odds as of now. This is week 6 of college football. So we're going to give the odds that are present. We're going to give our predictions for right now, and what changes is what changes. But your leader at plus 100 is Alabama quarterback Bryce Young. Second in odds at plus 125, Ole Miss quarterback Matt Corral. Third at plus 1,400, a big jump there from plus 125 to plus 1,400. Desmond Ridder, Cincinnati quarterback. And then this varies from site to site and that, but this is from Barstool Sportsbook, where my odds came from. And at 4th, they have Spencer Rattler at plus 1,600. So, like I said, this will vary from site to site, but if you go through and look at the stats, Bryce Young so far, 108 for 148. That's 73% passing completion, or passing percentage, completion percentage. 1,365 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Matt Corral, a little bit less on the passing, 87 for 125, 69.6%, 1,210 yards, a little bit less, 10 touchdowns, 7 less touchdowns than Bryce Young, but 0 interceptions. Desmond Ridder, 73 for 115, 63.5%, 1045 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And here's where it gets interesting. And like I said, on some sites, Spencer Rattler's not even 4th. We was talking about that a minute ago. On some sites, him and C.J. Stroud have the same odds. But right here, you could argue Spencer Rattler has the better numbers, except for the interceptions. 122 for 160. 76.3%. 1,260 passing yards. 10 touchdowns, but 4 interceptions. So he's got 7 less touchdowns than the leader, Bryce Young. But he has 2 more interceptions. So that's what the committee will look at. But I could see this being your 4 Heisman candidates at the end of the year. And it could change. It could very well change.
Yeah, and on top of that too, it's how many of those interceptions are really. I haven't watched him, so I don't know. I haven't seen the interceptions, but like, how many can you really say are his fault? Like, you could have a tip pass that, or like, a wide receiver just doesn't get it, and it's a tip ball, and then it gets intercepted that way. So maybe it was a good pass, it just wasn't caught, and well,
I know
it might
some
not all
of,
be on his shoulders.
I know some of them were bad because Oklahoma fans have been calling for his job, but college football fans, they're like that. So it's hard to tell, but right now, if I had to pick, honestly, and it's going to come down to how the year changes, and it could very well come down to, I mean, they do the Heisman before the playoff, right?
Right. It's like, yeah, it's like right before. Yeah. It's at the end of
So
the season.
that's not going to matter. I thought that, I was going to say maybe it could depend on who goes farther, but that's not going to even matter. I honestly think Matt Corral could steal this.
Yeah, I think he could too.
It's going to depend on who really steps up towards the end of the year, like in the last half of the year, but their stats are not that far off.
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
And honestly, I think he's got the easiest shot. Like Hillman, Bryce Young, like they come from the SEC, so they're going to be respected as SEC quarterbacks. So I think they have the better chances, really.
I mean, I think it's a two-man race, right? You look at the odds difference. Odds don't really mean much, but it sort of does. Vegas knows what they're talking about. Plus 125 all the way to plus 1,400. It's between Bryce Young and Matt Corral. So if you had, from the beginning of the year, Bryce Young has been the hands-down favorite, everybody's favorite.
Mm-hmm.
After that week 1 Miami game, we never did talk about this because we wanted to save this Heisman video for later on. But if we would have done it, and I had this in the back of my mind ready to say, I was going to say, because we said we're going to give some hot takes, and we never did give them. Like we teased it, but we forgot and never did give them. Week 2 of college football, my hot take would have been just go ahead and give the Heisman to Bryce Young and go ahead and give the Natty to Alabama. And if you want to play the year out and see what happens, that's fine. But I think that's what will happen. Like that would have been my hot take week 2. But now the way Ole Miss is playing, things are way different.
Mm-hmm.
So Bryce Young started out as the favorite, but I could see Corral jumping in there and grabbing the Heisman towards the end of the year. All right, big hot topic in the league right now. It's not really gained as much traction in the past couple weeks because they've said that the voting has stalled and they're putting it on the back burner. But topic everybody's talked about. Expanding the playoff. Everybody's tired of seeing the same 4 teams every year. Everybody's seeing the same team win it. And even if you expand it, it may not matter. Same team may still win it. But people's tired of just seeing the same 4 teams. Let's branch out, make this bigger. And I've got sort of an idea of what I would like to see it become. I don't know which route they're going to go with it. But I have this picture pulled up on my screen over here, and they have 12 teams. Like 12 has been the popular number. I think that's the number it'll go to no matter what. The big debate will be how they schedule it and how they bracket it up and, I guess, structure it. But this looks intriguing. So you have a top 12 bracket. The top 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4 are in their own bracket. And 1, 2, 3, and 4 get a first round bye. And then you have 8 versus 9, 5 versus 12, 7 versus 10, and 6 versus 11. There was a big controversy saying that Notre Dame couldn't get the first round bye because the only way you get the first round bye is if you're in a conference. So they have some stuff they're going to have to iron out, obviously.
I think Notre Dame should just stop being scared and join a conference. But, I mean, yeah, because if they don't want to join a conference, make the top 4 your conference champions. And the 12-team system makes it easier for everybody, especially with the 4, like you just said, the top 4, because then all the big conferences will get in. It'll probably be a debate. It'll probably be a head-to-head between, Big 12 and Pac-12, I guess. I mean, I would say ACC and SEC are locked in for a spot, and Big 10 should be locked in for a spot, and then the 4th spot will go between Big 12 and Pac-12. And even if that's not how it goes, and like Big 12 just gets it easily, or even Pac-12 gets it easily, the more spots in it, the 12 teams, it gives every conference an equal chance to get in. I think it just makes it easier. Because the past couple of years, you've had Georgia and Alabama both in the talks for the top 4, so it really just throws a wrench in everything.
Last year with the pandemic and all the scheduling issues with that, Notre Dame played in the ACC.
Mm-hmm.
Like technically they were in the ACC last year. And then now they're saying they're going to stay independent. But like with all these conferences like restructuring, you're going to have the SEC's getting 2 teams with Texas and Oklahoma like we talked earlier. So that means the Big 12, they talked about that a couple weeks ago too. They're adding Cincinnati and UCF and all them.
Mm.
So with all these conferences restructuring, there's no sense that Notre Dame shouldn't be in a conference. Somebody's going to have room for them. And somebody's going to make them an offer because they're Notre Dame. They're a prestigious program.
Mm.
So, I mean, there's no sense in them not being in a conference.
It all just comes down to money. I mean, Notre Dame gets to name their price against.
And when it gets down to the nitty gritty of it, and you're Notre Dame and you're ranked at 4, but you can't get that first round bye because you're not in a conference, you have nobody to blame but yourself.
Mm-hmm. And you have to like force that, like have a backbone and enforce that to make them join a conference. Basically, like it's just dumb to not be in a conference.
Now, what's going to be cool is these first round games, and then the second round games where the teams that had first round bye comes into it. First and second round, they're all going to be played at home on campus. I just think that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you get into the semifinal and the national championship, then you can go to the Rose Bowl and the Cotton Bowl and Orange Bowl.
That's like the NFL, and that goes into like what we talked about earlier with the quadrants across the nation and having the four different conferences. It'll make it more like the NFL in that aspect, and I think that's how it should be.
Yeah, we'll see where they go with it. But that'll do it for our college talk for tonight. We're going to transition over to the NFL. Next topic will be NFL honors predictions, all the NFL honors awards. We'll go through them one by one and give our predictions on what we think it'll be. We'll start off with Comeback Player of the Year. I don't think either one of us can argue who we think this will be.
No, I think everybody knew that after like week 1, week 2.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
I think it will be a player like that, big player that has come back from injury. I've seen a couple of sites, they had it as a slash between two different players, and that's what I wrote down here. Dak Prescott or Nick Bosa. One of those players that come back from injury, had a big year and they were the reason that their team was successful? Like that player alone?
Yeah, you have to go to Dak Prescott. It's that gruesome injury, and everybody was talking about it when it happened. And
I agree. I mean,
I just don't think the 49ers will do enough to get Joey Bosa recognized.
Nick Bosa,
sorry. Recognized. And, Dak's already getting recognized. Dak's got it locked in almost. He would have to do something pretty bad and fall off.
I agree. I said it the other night. I think he'll win that. I said it off the podcast, just me and you talking.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will win it, but I just wanted to bring that up to start the conversation. All right, number 2, Coach of the Year. I think I mentioned this the other night too, who I think will win this. He's a first-year coach as far as head coach. My pick for Coach of the Year really impressed me. Came from the McVay tree, from the Rams. Got a head coaching job with the Chargers. Brandon Staley with the Chargers. I think he wins that award.
I respect that, especially what he's doing with the Chargers right now and Justin Herbert, and they're pretty successful. But I'm going to give it to Cliff Kingsbury. I feel like he's just... I've always liked Cliff Kingsbury. Like, whenever he was looking for a job, or like his name was in all his directions, he was getting mentioned in so many different schools way back. Whenever Tennessee was looking for a job or a coach, he was mentioned in it, and I just always liked him. So
there's a reason for Mahomes' success.
Yeah.
So far. Yeah, I could see that too, because he started out in the NFL pretty slow and had a bad start, and people were starting to question him, and now the Cardinals have just come out of nowhere. So I could see him getting it over Staley just for that reason, how they've come out of nowhere. But Staley's not
really good. Like, all coaches, like, I'm tired of coaches changing the player to fit their system. He changed his system to fit the player. Like, he's like making everything work the way Kyler needs it. The way Kyler needs it to work, and the way it should work best to suit Kyler.
Yeah. All right. Number 3, Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think this could be one of 3 or 4 players.
Yeah, you thought you knew mine, but you don't know mine. Mine's not who yours is.
Well, I have one that I want to give it to. Like who I want to win it and who I think will win it. Because I don't think they would give it to a running back. If I had to pick who I would want to win it, it'd be Najee Harris.
I think everybody wanted Najee Harris to win it at the beginning of the season, but the way the Steelers look now, I don't know about that.
I don't think they'll give it to a running back either way, even if the Steelers were good. But I have Mac Jones. Rookie quarterback coming to the old dynasty. Tom Brady's former home. Has big shoes to fill, a lot to live up to. Playing for the best coach in the NFL.
New England loves him too.
Yeah, I think he's going to be really good.
Yeah, he definitely will be good under Bill Belichick. But at the same time, I want it to be Mac Jones. I wanted it to be Najee Harris. I said before in other episodes that it'll be a young quarterback. And I think it could be Mac Jones. It could be Justin Fields, depending on how his season goes. Trey Lance gets the start this week. So there's 3 quarterbacks right there it could potentially be, just seeing how they go. But I got wrote down here Jamar Chase. I feel like he could have a big remainder of his season.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow is high school or college quarterback.
There was a lot of jokes going around about him, and a lot of it came from Pat McAfee's show. He made comments that it was harder to catch balls in the NFL because the balls don't have the stripes on them.
Yep.
And since then, he just sort of came out of nowhere and just blew up.
That's why I picked him, because he, like, during the preseason, during the early season, all that was going around about him saying he couldn't catch the balls as easy, and then he just came to life. I don't know what changed.
We'll see how his career plays out. I like him and the Joe Burrow connection, and I don't want to jinx his career, but just looking at him out there, he looks like Calvin Johnson.
It's just a good story. Like, could you imagine the Bengals go out at some point during both of their careers and win a Super Bowl? And, like, the game-winning touchdown is Burrow to Chase. Like, that would just be legendary.
He just looks good. And when he runs his routes and catches and stuff, he looks really good.
He does.
All right. Number 4, Offensive Player of the Year as a whole.
This one was hard for me to decide, because I don't know.
There's a lot of names you could pick from.
There's a lot, yeah.
But there was one that stood out to me, and I said it the other night. If the Chiefs are playing and you gamble and you don't put at least a little bit of money on anytime touchdown score by Travis Kelce, you're just losing money. And, like, it don't matter who they're playing. It don't matter how much they are down or how bad they're getting beat. Travis Kelce is going to score. And Travis Kelce is a lot to do with the success that the Chiefs have.
Yeah.
So, like, as far as, like, who makes the biggest impact, he's probably not that guy. Because the Chiefs are loaded and not loaded, but they have stars. Mahomes, Hill, him, Edwards-Helaire. I mean,
Watkins still over there?
Yeah. Sammy Watkins. But there's stars everywhere, but he has a lot to do with their success. So that's mine.
Yeah, I respect Travis Kelce a lot, but somebody's got to throw the ball to him. My Offensive Player of the Year is Patrick Mahomes. He's always lighting it up, so you got to respect him.
Plus the plays he makes with his legs, too.
Yeah, he's crazy.
All right, number 5, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Other side of the ball, rookie. You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
You can go ahead.
This was the one that stumped me. I didn't really know who to pick, but it's a guy that I've really been impressed with watching him. He sort of changed the defense of this team. Like, this team coming into the year was a team that was very, very criticized for their defense. And last year they drafted nothing but defense. I think they drafted a couple offensive players very, very late with, like, their last 2 picks. But other than that, they drafted nothing but defense. And that's Micah Parsons, linebacker for the Cowboys.
Yeah, I respect that one too. And Jerry Jones did. Like, I think this is one of the better drafts I've seen for the Cowboys. But mine is the cornerback, right?
Mm-hmm.
From Alabama, Patrick Surtain. He's just, I think he's gonna have a big year, especially, like, everybody's doubting the Broncos now. So I feel like they're gonna step up, and, like, it's gonna start with the defense. They're just gonna prove themselves.
Yeah, I liked him in college.
Yeah,
watched him at Alabama. I remember. This has nothing to do with how his NFL career will pan out, but I remember our receivers had a pretty good game with him when he was at Alabama. Tennessee receivers, we had a pretty good game, even though we got beat out like everybody else that plays Alabama. But yeah, and if there's always something that's inevitable, and you're going to live, you're going to die, you're going to pay taxes. and Alabama players are going to be good in the league. So, especially Alabama DBs, you can't really talk much about them. But moving on. Next, we will go to Defensive Player of the Year. There's a lot you could pick from on this, too.
Yeah.
I don't really know who I would put second. I'm not going to say because it may be yours. I'm going to go with the guy that just signed a big contract. TJ Watt. That's mine. The leader on the defense for the Steelers. That's his defensive team. That team runs and breathes by him. So that's mine.
Yeah, he's a lot like his brother and the leadership role of his brother. But this one was hard because you got TJ, you got Myles Garrett, Jadeveon Clowney, Chandler Jones. But I got a guy that's got a interception in every game he's played. 2 interceptions last week against the Panthers, and Trayvon Diggs for the Cowboys. So,
yeah.
I mean, while there is better quarterbacks and worse quarterbacks and terrible quarterbacks in the NFL, if you're in the NFL and you're a quarterback, you're doing something right. So you got to respect them, and if you're forcing them to throw an interception, I mean, you're pretty good, especially to get one in every game. So that's 4 quarterbacks that you've made throw an interception, and one of those quarterbacks was Tom Brady.
Yeah, I know. I know at least one of them, maybe 2 of them, was pick sixes. I know at least one of them was.
Yeah, one of them against Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
He looks really good this year.
So he's picked off Justin Herbert and Tom Brady this year, and that's like 2 of the top guys. And then one of your favorite quarterbacks, Sam Darnold, he picked off twice, but we won't talk about it.
And that's what I just said. Alabama DBs, you can't really talk much crap about them.
No.
They get it done in the league. And another, they don't start a conversation. Defensive Player of the Year. You could also mention him for Comeback Player of the Year. But it would be very nice to see Von Miller make a run for this. Defensive Player of the Year. He just come back from injury and tearing it up for the Broncos. I just like Von Miller as a player. He just seems like a good guy. So
he's always been a leader and great guy.
And then the last one, the one everybody wants to know, big one, MVP. This one was hard for me because there's like 3 guys that I really think could win it. 4. I'll name all the ones that I think are in the running after you give yours because I'm pretty sure one of them's yours. But mine, I think this team takes the next step. I've said it multiple times. This team will take the next step. They will make it to the Super Bowl. They'll win the AFC. My MVP is Josh Allen. Player that's, and I've said Josh Allen over and over and over every week, but he's just a quarterback that's popped out in my mind and really impressed me past few weeks.
Yeah, you have to respect him. I mean, if he's putting in work, you can't overlook him.
But that's my MVP. I'll let you give yours, then I'll give who I think.
Well, I think it's the same one. I got Kyler Murray for the Cardinals. He's I don't know honestly if they'll make the Super Bowl, but I think he's going to put up the numbers and he's going to lead the team in such a way that you can't not give it to him. And if you don't give him the MVP, he's probably the second best for Offensive Player of the Year.
I think you could say the same thing about Stafford, though.
Yeah, you could. And that was one of mine. I had Stafford, Allen, and Murray.
My 4 that I have 4 that I think the MVP, they're in the running for the MVP. and it's going to come down to who makes it the farthest. But Josh Allen, Kyler Murray, Stafford, or Rodgers will repeat. And I don't think Rodgers will repeat. I think because MVP, even though it is a big prestigious award that you had to have good stats to win it, they do like to give it to a good story.
Mm-hmm.
They do like a good story to be behind it too, and that's why I could see Stafford getting it. Going to a different team, balling out. Stafford would be the perfect story. But Kyler Murray would be a good one too, because the Cardinals have just been past couple years, and then this year come out of nowhere, and they're doing it because Kyler Murray is the one leading them.
And another one that I feel like is doing it quietly is Patrick Mahomes. Like I had him for my Offensive Player of the Year, but I feel like he could, do even more than what it looks like he's doing right now and end up winning the MVP. And if that happens, I think it'll be Kyler Murray or Matt Stafford. But I could see Kyler Murray beating Stafford out for MVP, but I can't see at this point Patrick Mahomes beating him out with the story and everything like that added into it.
It's like that with any sport.
Mm-hmm.
MVP, Player of the Year, points leader. And me and you watch fishing, Angler of the Year. Any kind of points leader or athlete of the year in their own respective sport, you have to be consistent week to week to win that. Like, if you win MVP, you're one of the best in the league because you were consistent from week to week. And I don't know, has Mahomes slipped too much early to be in consideration?
I don't know. That's the only reason I'm counting him out right now, is because he has slipped a little bit from some of the stuff he's pulled in previous years. But I don't know.
Because if they come back and they just roll off win after win after win, and he's solely the reason why they go to the Super Bowl and win another Super Bowl, then I could see him being there, in that conversation.
I mean, we're definitely not counting him out. Like, there's so many good teams this year. Like, I mean, Jets and Giants won last week, and they're garbage most of the time. So, I mean, there's every team in the NFL right now is good. Like, it's the best NFL season I think we've seen, because everybody's competing, and you never can count Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs out. They have a Super Bowl ring for a reason. I've said that before. But, yeah, I don't know. It'll be... It's up in the air. Like, it's not one-sided at all. It's like 5-sided.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a fun year to watch, that's for sure. But we done this last week. We done a tier list last week, and we had fun with it. So we're going to do another one. And this time we're getting away from sports.
And we're going to try to make this a normal thing. So, like, if you have any ideas for a tier list you'd like to see us do, tweet us at our Twitter. The link's below, and links everywhere. If you can't find ours, mine's somewhere right under my name, right there. So.
But we had fun with this last time. We're getting out of sports with this one, but that don't matter. And this don't have to be just a sports channel. So, like he said, y'all tweet at us and see which ones you want to see. But we're going to get into this tier list, and when y'all watch this video, make sure you comment and tell us your opinions. If you wholeheartedly disagree with our list, let us know. If you like it, let us know. But the first one, Captain Crunchberries.
It's an F. Put it in the F. You get the film, like whenever you eat it, you get the film on your teeth. Like after you're done with it, and it's just waxy, and nobody likes it. If you like it, you're probably a Florida Gator fan, and like you gotta let them soak.
Plus,
No,
Plus
hang
the
on. Captain Crunch is like so hard to eat because if you eat them too early, it'll rip the roof of your mouth off. But if you eat them too late, you get that film in your mouth. So it's like, what's the point? Like, it's just, I don't know.
That's what I was about
Too
to say. Like
complicated.
the brown Captain Crunch part of this cereal, like tears your roof of your mouth off, and that's what puts that into an F. But I can already tell once we get farther low down into this, we're gonna have some debates.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know who you are. I know you.
Life.
Listen, these next three, you can just put them in the question mark category because I don't know.
I've had corn pops, but like that's what the question mark tiers for is like ones you never had. But I'm putting them down here because I think they're below an F.
Yeah, I've never had them, so I
next
can't even
three.
tell you. Honestly, I feel like it's like old people cereal.
All right, Golden Grams.
Golden Grams is
Me and you, we know a lot about this cereal
yeah.
because like this is one of Dad's favorite cereals.
Yeah, Dad ate this cereal like every night. He'd be watching like Jimmy Fallon or something.
This is like
And this is what he eat.
poor man's Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I think.
Yeah,
Like
for
it's,
sure.
it's like graham cracker flavor, and it's still good, but it's like not as good as Cinnamon Toast
No,
Crunch.
I'm putting it in a C.
I agree with that. It's good, but it's not the best.
Then the next one, I don't even know.
I've never had it.
And then this one, Cocoa Krispies. I'm just going to let you go ahead and I'll interrupt you because I know we're going to have opposing thoughts, I think. So you go ahead and then I'll interrupt.
I don't think so because I just don't like any kind of chocolate cereal.
Okay, I guess we agree. Put it in the F.
Honey Bunches of Oats. You had this?
I have had it once or twice. Not enough to like rank it highly, but I know it's better than Captain Crunch, so I'm putting it at E.
I would say D.
Okay, we'll put it at D.
Cheerios.
This is the regular Cheerios.
Yeah.
It's not the Honey Nut Cheerios. So Cheerios,
Original Cheerios.
that's a D.
So like in the middle.
Yeah.
It's not anything extravagant. It's not too plain. I mean, it is plain. It's just multi-grain flavored cereal. But it's the OG. You put a little sugar in it. It's pretty good.
Now we got
It's not the best.
French toast. Okay. Also, the point of Cheerios is for no sugar.
I don't care.
It ruins the Cheerios.
Like if I
it's
eat
good for your
Cheerios-
heart, and you're throwing a gallon of sugar in there.
I'd say a gallon. You just sprinkle a little bit on top.
Okay.
It's still better than eating Fruity Pebbles or
Okay.
Cosmic Brownie cereal.
That's true.
All right. French Toast Crunch.
Just because it is what it is, and it's like they're trying too hard, I'm putting it in an E.
Have you had this?
Yes.
It's fire.
I don't like it. It's not as good as Golden Grams, and it's not as good as Cinnamon Toast Crunch. So,
I'll let you put it. You tell me where to put it, and I'll put it wherever you want to. But I love it.
I'm putting it at D just because it's not an E because it is Toast Crunch. Just because it's a Toast Crunch, I'm putting it at D.
All right. Frosted Flakes.
That's an S tier.
Yep. OG. Can't argue with it.
It's great. Like, it's just iconic, bro.
If you don't like Frosted Flakes, just quit eating cereal.
Yeah, for real.
Crave. I've never had it.
Is that the
I feel like
chocolate filled
in
ones?
the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, those are just because it's too much. Better than Captain Crunch, so E. I have had it. It's just like too much going on. You got like the cereal, and then there's chocolate in it, and there's milk, and it's just I don't know. Put it at E.
Apple Jacks.
I don't like Apple Jacks. I'm putting Apple Jacks at an E.
I don't like them either.
It's an E or an F. do think they're better than Captain Crunch. Cookie Crisp. F. Garbage. Too hard, just like Captain Crunch. Tears the roof of your mouth off. And you get the film at the end of it.
I said it earlier. There's only two. Hold on. 1, 2. Yeah, there's only 2 chocolate cereals I like. So I agree with that. Not a big fan of Cookie Crisp. Peanut Butter Crunch.
What is it?
Peanut Butter Crunch. The Peanut Butter Captain Crunch.
I have no idea, but I'll let you pick it. But I'm just going to say it's a Captain Crunch descendant, so it's an F in my mind. You can put it wherever you want, though.
Captain Crunch does not get bad critiques because of their flavor. They get bad critiques because of the consistency.
The texture of it is just not.
If it has the little... We'll get into that later because there's one on here that's my favorite. But if it's got the little square pieces in it, the Captain Crunch pieces, it tears your mouth out of crap.
Yep.
And it's just not worth it. So F. Cocoa Pebbles. This is one of those chocolate flavors I like. This is one of the chocolate cereals I like. The only complaint with Cocoa Pebbles and Fruity Pebbles, they get too soggy too quick.
Yep.
But if you don't sit and take your time eating cereal, just eat it.
I put it at a B.
Yeah. That's about right.
Now, Honey Nut Cheerios. This is not the regular Cheerios. This is the sweet ones that are probably still good for your heart. I don't know how they advertise those, but it's the one with the little bee with the thing, and he hits it with the magic wand, and it's like really good. So I'm putting that at an A, 100%. Something's going crazy in there. I don't know if y'all could hear that. Austin's dog's going nuts.
They heard it. Honey Nut Cheerios is like what I should have said when I said sprinkle a little sugar on it.
You sprinkling sugars on Honey Nut Cheerios?
No, I'm saying with the original.
Oh yeah.
Like when I said that earlier, like put a little sugar on Cheerios, then somebody probably would say.
Yeah, you just needed that little bee to come in and hit it with the thing.
Yeah.
Then make it better.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never had Honey Nut Cheerios with milk. I've ate it like plain dry.
What?
I've never had it.
Bro, it's like...
So, you can grade it.
And buy you a box of Honey Nut Cheerios. It's an A. I don't know if I told you.
Corn Chex.
Yeah, I don't know.
The only time I ever had this is in Chex Mix. Because that's like the Chex cereal that's in the little...
Bro, I couldn't tell you.
Line things. It's in Chex Mix. We'll put it down here because I've never had it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Frosted Mini Wheats.
It's iconic.
Just original.
But, I'm gonna have to put it at a B because you don't, like, if you don't eat it fast enough, you like have no time to eat it, where it starts falling apart, and then it's like
It gets all soggy.
yeah, it's not good.
Now,
Then you have all the little pieces of it, like little strands at the bottom of your milk, and then you drink the milk, and it's not good.
You say B?
Yeah.
Okay, I agree with that. If it was strawberry mini wheats, it's a S.
I don't know. It's still got that texture, and it's still the same thing, so it still falls apart.
It's one of my favorite ones, is strawberry mini.
Honestly, you get the flavored, like the blueberry and the strawberry, and you just eat them by themselves without the milk. That's the best way to eat them.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't fall apart.
Life down here.
Never had a life.
Tricks,
just like Captain Crunch. Put it in the F. It's better than Captain Crunch, but it's going in the F.
I'd say E. I mean, it's got a better taste. It's not going to tear your mouth up as bad as Captain Crunch.
I don't know. We can put it at E because it is better than Captain Crunch, but
because I'll be honest with you, I don't remember if I had it a lot when I was a kid, but
Tricks are for kids.
I've had Tricks yogurt more than I've had Tricks cereal.
That's facts.
Like, I just not ate this that much.
But I've ate it enough to know. I don't
Yeah,
like it.
it's just any kind of cereal with those shapes.
Yep.
Cocoa Puffs. That's the same way, and it's chocolate.
Same way, but it's an E. Yeah, we'll put it at E. It's a Captain Crunch, but it's all the little things that tear your mouth up.
I'll let you have it. I'd put it at F just because it's chocolate.
Yeah, it's an F.
F. Alright, oops. All berries.
That's Captain Crunch. Put it at F.
This is the one I said. This is the one I said is my favorite.
Put it at F.
The berries are different.
Bro, the berries are just like the ones in the Cocoa Puffs and the Tricks.
I have a king size box of this in there right now.
Jesus.
This is the only cereal I have in my house.
You can put it wherever you want, but
I'll put it at E.
Anybody out there, I don't like Captain Crunch.
I mean,
It's overrated.
I like this is the only cereal I have in my house right now. If I was to say, if somebody took me to the store and said, you pick your favorite cereal, best cereal out there, that's the only cereal you can buy. It wouldn't be that, but all the cereals that are up at the S and A level, like, it's just, you've had them so much, you just want to try something different. So
I don't know. I've never tried the all berries one. I'll have to go get a bowl when we're done. But
if you can zoom on this on your end,
bro, I can't see it. I already tried to zoom in on it.
I think it looks like Crave s'mores. I don't. Either way, it sounds nasty.
Sounds nasty.
I don't.
Bro, it's s'mores.
I'm putting it down here because I've never had it.
Okay.
And then
We'll put it on there just because, yeah, I've never had it either, but it's s'mores. I got
Special
wanna
K
try it.
fruit and yogurt. Never had that.
Nope.
Don't want to have it.
Okay.
Next
This one, we might have some differing views. Raisin Bran is an S. 1000%.
Yeah.
Thank God. Loves this man.
Everybody throws off on Raisin Bran.
Raisin Bran is
Raisin
like...
Bran. You're old. That's
No.
an old man cereal.
No.
Raisin Bran's awesome. Especially if you get the one that's got the extra raisins.
No, you get the one Raisin Bran Crunch. That's the best one. It's got those little, like, oatmeal balls in it, and it's like crunch. It's like, oh, I don't even.
I always get flack for my
I'd put Raisin Bran over Frosted Flakes in my eyes.
I always put Raisin Bran up that high too, and I get flack for it. But me and you's always been like that. I mean, I've always liked Raisin Bran.
No, I didn't know. I thought I was alone.
Oreos, never had them. But
I've had them like once, but I can't remember if they're good. But since they're Oreos, I think we gotta put them in a D or an E.
E.
Oh, what? D.
E.
Okay.
And I'll just say, like I've told you, I don't like chocolate cereal.
Yeah, but it's Oreos. You kind of gotta respect the Oreos.
Yeah, just because the Oreo name, we'll put it at E. Captain Crunch, original Captain Crunch, F. I'd put it at the top of F because it's the OG. But
Alright, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the original, OG, easiest pick, S tier, godly cereal.
and it's at the top.
Yeah, it's the top of the S tier. Then Raisin Bran, then Frosted Flakes. Kix,
Never had it.
me neither. Corn Flakes, A. That's an A. And then you do your little trick you had with your Cheerios, put a little
that's what I was
sugar
about-
in it.
So I was about to say.
Not too much cereal, just a little bit cereal. Yeah. It's
the
like
same.
top of the A.
Same way as Cheerios. You put a little, like you said, you put a little sugar in it, or some like cut up some strawberries and put in it.
Yeah.
Some fruit, bananas. Bananas is good.
Bananas slap. Bananas good in your regular Cheerios too. Forgot about that.
This next one is a little iffy.
It is iffy.
Fruit Loops.
Because it's also like Captain Crunch in my eyes with the film part of it.
But it's better.
You don't eat it in time. But it's 10 times better than Captain Crunch. I would put it at C with Golden Grams.
Yeah, I was gonna say Golden Grams looking a little lonely.
Yeah, Golden Grams looking lonely. Give it a friend. Honeycomb.
Honeycomb's A for me.
Honeycomb is pretty good. I don't eat it enough to judge it, so when I have ate it, I liked it. So I'll put it wherever you want.
I'm putting it at A, and like I told you, I've never had Honey Nut Cheerios with milk, and I like Honeycomb better than Corn Flakes, so I'm putting Honeycomb at the top of A. Like it's going in top A tier. Reese Puff. It's Reese's Puffs is the other chocolate cereal I actually like.
Yeah.
It's not high. I'd probably put it at C or D. C,
I don't know.
C or D.
See, you gotta eat it in time, but you can't eat it too fast. Because it's too crunchy. Can't have a real too crunchy cereal. Raisin Bran, you eat Raisin Bran like as soon as you eat it, and it's got that perfect crunch to it. I think that's why Raisin Bran and Corn Flakes are even up there that high, is because of the crunch it has. It's like the perfect crunch for a cereal. Reese Puff has too much of a crunch. So I would put it at B with the Cocoa Pebbles.
Above Mini Wheats.
Yeah.
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles is an A or an S. It's an S, right? Like I feel like it's better than Honeycomb and Cheerios.
Yeah, it's like
But I don't know if it's good enough to be an
it's
S
like
tier.
it's like right here for me. Like above Frosted Flakes, but Raisin Bran's better. I don't know. In between Raisin Bran and Frosted Flakes.
You got Cinnamon Toast Crunch above Raisin Bran right now?
Yeah. Cinnamon Toast Crunch is the best cereal on this list.
They're tied, I feel like.
But like Fruity Pebbles, you have so many. Like we tried that Fruity Pebble ice cream the other day.
I didn't like that.
You have so many like things that they come out with.
Yeah.
They have Fruity Pebble creamer, which they have Cinnamon Toast Crunch creamer too,
I didn't
coffee
like
creamer
that
too,
either.
and it's a little weird.
I didn't like the Fruity Pebbles. Just stick to cereal.
But
I didn't like the ice cream.
If you have a cereal and you come out with a bunch of other products that's flavored like your cereal, then your cereal is probably a S tier cereal.
That's true.
But I think that's a pretty solid list. I mean, there's obviously
That is a solid
a
list.
lot of crappy cereals that we haven't tried. And if we tried them, we may like them, but I doubt it.
They look like old people cereal. I'm just gonna keep it a stack.
No,
Looks like that stuff your doctor tells you to eat.
I've had the Special K with strawberries, and it's pretty good.
How good can cereal be with strawberries? It's like dehydrated.
They're good. But vanilla almond and fruit and yogurt, I don't know about. And anything that says corn or rice,
Might have to try them.
we'll have to go try. I mean, I've tried corn pops, but I just don't like them.
I don't think I would like corn pops.
And like I said, if it says corn or rice, I don't want it in my cereal.
We should try some stuff. Do some reviews.
Except corn flakes. I just contradicted myself. I mean, we put corn flakes at the top.
Cornflakes is at the top, but cornflakes is only at the top. Like if you cornflakes without the little sugar we talked about is like a C. Put that little sugar in it, it's an A because of the crunch. And it's just I don't know.
And I don't like this French toast.
The texture
D.
of the cereal is 1000%.
Like at one point, this French toast crunch was like my oops all berries. Like this is all I had in my house. It's like this French toast crunch take. I don't really like that. I would put it like up here at B.
I put it up there. I haven't ate it enough to really judge it. I just feel like it's disrespectful to Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
It's different. It's shaped like little pieces of bread.
See, like I
And
don't like that.
it's like it looks exactly like a little piece of toast, and it tastes exactly like French toast. It's just got enough cinnamon in it to resemble Cinnamon Toast Crunch. It's good. like I said, that and that Oops All Berries. That's the cereal here lately I've been munching on.
How long have we been on this podcast?
59 minutes. Now we're at an hour.
An hour, baby. Thanks for watching, guys. We love you.
Yeah.
If you have any tier lists you want us to watch, tweet it at us. Comment below, YouTube video, something. Thanks for watching again. Thanks for listening again. We truly do appreciate it. Hopefully we can get into some more stuff like this outside of sports and maybe taste test some stuff on the... and make a video about it. Do it during the podcast. But we also do upload this full episode of the podcast on our YouTube channel. Check the link in our profile and in our Twitter. And yeah, I think that's about all I got to say. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.
Bye.